What I thought I'd do for the next 4 minutes or so is just share with you what I've learned and how to be most effective as a coach. And now, this 4 minutes alone is going to help you get better. It is certainly going to make you a master at it. It really takes time and more focus and study. And yet, each quarter, my plan is to share with you one more piece of this in being effective as a coach. Now, number one rule, and I'll call this the golden rule of coaching, and that is you have to let the agent author the answer. You have to let the agent author the answer. Now, here's what I mean by that. Quite often, especially those of us who are very experienced, have more than likely had an experience that we can jump right in and give a solution to an agent on what it is that might be stopping them in their business. And yet, when we do that, we're actually limiting their ability to problem solve and commit fully to whatever the solution would be. So we walk them through a process, help them self-discover what it is they need to do next, and ultimately help them be better as real estate agents in their businesses and ultimately happier in their lives. So number one rule, I'll call this the golden rule of coaching, is let them author the answer. Number two, now here's the thing to remember, there's really five kind of crucial questions that we always ask in a coaching dialogue of the agent. And when you walk through these five crucial questions, it'll help the agent move themselves forward, and ultimately that's our goal. First question, you may want to write this down, is what was your goal? Number one is, what was your goal? Now, here's what I've discovered. If I'm first starting to work with an agent in a coaching dialogue, they normally don't have that goal set. And that's where we stop the whole conversation and we spend the next number of sessions developing the goals for themselves and their business. Until they have that, none of the rest of this really works. So the first question is, what was your goal? Number two, how did you do? So you set a goal for yourself. What did you do? How did you do? How did you move towards accomplishing it? And more than likely, if they set the goal high enough where it stretched them to grow, they almost always won't hit it, which is great because growth occurs with that. Now, here's a little insight. If you're coaching an agent and they're always hitting their goal, meaning every time they sit down with you, they said, oh yeah, here was a goal, I hit it. Here was a goal, I hit it. What I would challenge you to do is to push them a little bit, because more than likely they're not setting the goal as high as they could, and they're not getting the growth that they could see. So we push them, we nudge them. That's part of our job as a coach, is to nudge them and stretch them a little bit more, just a little bit more. So number one, what was your goal? Number two, how did you do? Number three, what will you do differently? So if they set a goal, they didn't hit it completely, the next question is, knowing this, what you've experienced, what will you do differently next time? So that's the third question. Number four, how will you implement what you've just determined you'll do differently? So again, I'm going to back up. Number one is, what was your goal? Number two is, how did you do? Number three is, what will you do differently? Number four is, what will you do to implement changes so that you hit your goal? And finally, I want to put a little bit of accountability in there, and that means I ask the question, when can I follow up with you? When can I count on you hitting this, getting done what you say you're going to? So we set a by-when date. So those five questions, underlying it with the golden rule, let them author their answers, really becomes the foundation for an effective coaching relationship with your agents. I'm Darren Kittleson. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I look forward to speaking with you next time.